Welcome to another episode of Money Talks, the podcast where we explore the fascinating intersections of wealth, lifestyle, and happiness. I'm Emma, your host for today.
And I'm Jordan, your co-host. Today's topic is a timeless and controversial one. Does money buy happiness? It's something we've all wondered about at some point in our lives.
Absolutely. On one hand, people say that money can't buy happiness. On the other, it seems like financial security and the ability to afford life's pleasures can significantly boost our sense of well-being. So, where do we draw the line?
Right, Emma. Let's start with the basics. What do we mean by happiness in this context? Are we talking about fleeting pleasures, overall life satisfaction, or something else entirely?
That's a great question. When researchers talk about happiness, they often distinguish between two types: hedonic happiness, which is about experiencing pleasure and avoiding pain, and eudaimonic happiness, which is more about living a fulfilling and meaningful life.
So how does money play into these two types of happiness? Let's dive into some research findings. A famous study by Princeton University in 2010 found that people's day-to-day happiness increases with income up to about $75,000 per year. Beyond that, more money doesn't significantly improve day-to-day mood.
Right, but more recent research by Matthew Killingsworth in 2021 suggests that higher incomes are actually associated with increased happiness even beyond the $75,000 mark. So, the relationship between money and happiness might be more nuanced than we thought.
It seems that way, but it's also important to consider how money is spent. For example, spending on experiences rather than material goods tends to bring more lasting happiness. Experiences like travel, concerts, or even just a nice meal with friends can create memories and foster connections that we value deeply.
That's true. And there's also the concept of financial security. Knowing that you can cover unexpected expenses, afford healthcare, and plan for the future without constant stress can lead to a significant boost in life satisfaction.
Exactly, but let's not forget about the diminishing returns of wealth. After a certain point, accumulating more money doesn't proportionally increase happiness. Billionaires, for instance, don't necessarily feel much happier than millionaires.
It's also worth mentioning the psychological impact of constantly chasing wealth. The pressure to earn more can lead to stress, burnout, and even a sense of emptiness if other aspects of life are neglected.
That's a critical point. It's like the hedonic treadmill effect. People quickly adapt to higher levels of income and material possessions, and their expectations and desires escalate, which can lead to perpetual dissatisfaction.
So, what's the takeaway here, Jordan? How should our listeners think about the relationship between money and happiness?
I'd say the key is balance. Money can certainly enhance happiness by providing security and enabling enriching experiences, but it's not a magic bullet. Focusing on relationships, personal growth, and meaningful activities is crucial.
Well said, and it's also about mindful spending, investing in experiences and things that truly add value to your life rather than just accumulating wealth for its own sake. Let's delve deeper into how different income levels affect happiness. For instance, how does the impact of money differ for someone living paycheck to paycheck versus someone who is already financially comfortable?
That's an interesting angle. For those struggling financially, an increase in income can dramatically improve their quality of life. It can mean better housing, healthier food options, and reduced stress about bills and debt. Essentially, it can lift them out of survival mode.
Definitely, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Money helps cover the basic physiological and safety needs. But once those are met, higher needs such as social connections, self-esteem, and self-actualization come into play, which aren't directly tied to income.
Exactly, and that's where the nuanced part of the discussion lies. For people who already have their basic needs met, additional income doesn't always equate to increased happiness. Instead, it's how they use that extra income that matters.
Right. For instance, philanthropy and giving back can be a significant source of happiness. Many wealthy individuals report a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment when they use their resources to help others.
That's a powerful point. It's been shown that prosocial spending on others can boost happiness more than spending on oneself. It creates a sense of connection and purpose that's hard to achieve through material purchases alone.
Speaking of material purchases, let's discuss the concept of luxury and its diminishing returns on happiness. While buying a luxury car or a designer handbag can provide a temporary boost, the excitement often wears off quickly.
That's a powerful point. It's been shown that prosocial spending on others can boost happiness more than spending on oneself. It creates a sense of connection and purpose that's hard to achieve through material purchases alone.
Speaking of material purchases, let's discuss the concept of luxury and its diminishing returns on happiness. While buying a luxury car or a designer handbag can provide a temporary boost, the excitement often wears off quickly.
Absolutely. This is where the hedonic treadmill comes into play. We adapt to new levels of wealth and luxury, and our expectations rise accordingly. What was once a source of excitement becomes the new normal, and we seek the next thing to make us happy.
So, if material goods aren't the key to lasting happiness, what about the role of time? For instance, people often say time is more valuable than money. How does this perspective fit into our discussion?
That's a crucial aspect. The way we spend our time can significantly influence our happiness. For example, using money to buy time such as hiring help for household chores or paying for convenient services can reduce stress and free up time for more meaningful activities.
Yes, like spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply relaxing. These activities contribute more to our overall well-being than working extra hours just to earn more money.
There's also the concept of work-life balance. People who are financially comfortable might choose to work fewer hours to enjoy more leisure time, which can enhance their happiness.
This brings us to the idea of lifestyle choices. It's not just about how much money you have, but also about how you design your life around your values and what truly makes you happy.
Exactly, and let's not forget the impact of social comparisons. In today's social media-driven world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others, which can diminish our happiness regardless of our actual financial status.
That's a significant point. Social comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy and jealousy, even among those who are financially well off. It's a reminder that happiness is not just about absolute wealth, but also about our mindset and perspective.
So, if we're to give some practical advice, it would be to focus on financial security, mindful spending, and prioritizing experiences and relationships over material possessions.
And to remember that while money can provide comfort and opportunities, true happiness often comes from non-material aspects of life like personal growth, meaningful connections, and a sense of purpose.
Well said, Emma. This discussion shows that the relationship between money and happiness is indeed complex, but understanding these nuances can help us make more informed choices about how we pursue and use wealth.
Absolutely. Thanks for this insightful conversation, Jordan. It's been great exploring this topic with you.
Likewise, Emma, and to our listeners, we hope this discussion has given you some valuable insights into how money can and cannot buy happiness.